Hello and good evening. Good evening, everyone. We have now come up with the overall analysis. A very hectic day, and I understand that this is going to be a hectic day for even you guys, wherein we will have we've seen a lot of things happening today across the sections, across the slots. Okay, initial thoughts of having different students getting different number of questions. Okay, that is the initial thoughts, and then eventually we get to see that it is pretty much the same, that most of you have got 76 questions. Okay, so hi Sai, okay, everyone else, okay, people who are there, you able to hear me clearly? Are you able to see the screen? A quick confirmation, everyone. Everyone. CAT exam is finally done. Okay, whatever, however it was, it is finally done. That is the biggest thing. That CAT exam, okay, for which you've been preparing for quite some time now, it is completely done. Okay, and yes, we have, okay. There's a lot of questions that people have in their mind with regards to the percentile and the score. Okay, a lot of things. Okay, some goof up that has happened. Okay, so if you know how to deal with it. Okay, so yes, okay, so we need to discuss all of that today. Okay, we need to discuss it. How are we going to take this? Okay, how are we going to take this? Okay, today in our life, and what are we going to do further? Also, we'll discuss to some extent on that point as well. Okay, now, overall analysis here. Okay, good. Okay, I think everyone is there. We'll start first. Okay, so if you see, okay, I'm going to take you quickly through the entire day. Okay, of how things has happened. Okay, so if you see, I mean, I'm putting it in the sequence of the way the day has progressed. Okay, so where we are see the slot one. Okay, 18 questions on that, and then we had around 8 questions on the verbal ability part. And this is something not just for slot one, but even for slot two and slot three, which is pretty much the same thing. Okay, so I've just shown here, okay, the ideal attempts, okay, that someone could have done. Okay, and when we show these attempts, this is keeping in mind, okay, that 98, 99 percentile thing. Okay, so the same thing here. Okay, for LRDI also. Okay, if you see LRDI, we had data interpretation, we have logical reasoning sets. Okay, there was some set on the vendors. Okay, some musician sets were there. Okay, patient sets were there. This all about slot one, the morning 8:30 to 10:30 part. Okay, and there were MCQ questions, and no, the non-MCQ, which is the theta questions. So if you look at the attempts, okay, we have shown you the attempts as well. Okay, what is the ideal attempts? I've shown you that as well here. Okay, that kind of gives you more clarity. Okay, with regards to how much have you solved and how much you should be expecting out of it. So to sum it up, okay, for cons also pretty much same. Okay, no big deal here. Geometry mensuration, slot one had some questions on mensuration coming up. Okay, modern math was not there. Arithmetic was around 10 questions, out of which 4 to 5 questions were on TSD. Okay, all this is there. Now if I bring the final part, which is overall analysis of slot one, so now this is where I'm going to take some time. Okay, I'm going to take some time here. You see that 26, 24, 26, this was the number of questions. Okay, which is like overall of 76 questions, overall 40 minutes time. Okay, so now this is where I am talking particularly about the 99 percentile score, guys. Okay, particularly about the 99 percentile score, that for 99 percentile, how much we should be aiming at each of these sections. Okay, and all of that. So you see, LRDI definitely, okay, being on a little difficult side. The overall score is less, okay, compared to the other two sections. Okay, verbal, people found it on a difficult side, but overall, if you see, doing 2 RCs and doing 5 questions, okay, out of the 8 questions on verbal ability part, this was standardized. This was something that everyone could have done in any smart kid would have done in across the section. This is not particularly about slot number one, but across the slots. Okay, you will see this thing happening. Okay, that 5 on 8 questions of verbal ability, and for those 18 questions, okay, that was on RC. So from there, people were able to attempt somewhere around 10 to 11 questions out of those 18. Okay, and if you would have done those, those 15 to 17, 18 questions that you would have attempted overall in verbal part, okay, with those negative markings and the non-MCQs, okay, and all of that, okay, a score of around close to 40 to 42 would end up getting you a 99 percentile for the slot one people. Okay, and overall, if you see, that comes down to nothing but, okay, a 105 to 110 10 is the range where we're looking at for a 99 percentile, guys. Okay, this is for the 99 percentile. Now if I break it up, okay, if I break it up for a percentile wise, for score wise, okay, you can do a, let's say, a -5 marks, okay, would drop your percentile also by close to 3 to 4 percentile. Okay, so people scoring around 100 marks, okay, would end up having overall thing of close to 97, 98 percentile or 96 percentile at a score of 100. If you end up getting 90%, 90 marks, okay, a score of 90 marks would end up giving you a score of sorry, a percentile which would be again close to a 90 percentile. Okay, this is what we are expecting, okay, based on the slots, okay, which is slot number 1. In fact, let us see slot number 2. Okay, so slot number 2 that we have in front of you right now, if you compare this with the slot number 1, okay, verbal ability part, again not much of difference here. Okay, they have kept it pretty much the same, no surprise elements for slot number 2. LRDI was, people found it difficult, okay, and yes, it was difficult, but then it was not too that difficult where you could not solve no, 2 sets also. So people were able to solve 2 sets for sure, okay, and if you are able to solve 2 sets, that would have at least given you 90 percentile and above. Okay, 2 sets would have done that, and 3 sets would have taken you to that 95 98 percentile, but two sets, okay, definitely a 90 percentile above in LRDI there. Okay, cons pretty much the same again. Okay, arithmetic showing you 10 questions. Okay, geometry was 3 to 4 questions here, okay, that you saw. Modern maths 1-2 questions had come up. So if I see overall now here, you will see some slight variation here, okay, with regards to 105 to 1010 was the overall cutoff for slot number 1. Okay, for slot number 2, because of that LRDI part, which was a bit difficult, okay, because usually I've seen the smart kids of slot number 1 were able to do good in terms of LRDI, where they could able to solve 3 sets, but the similar kind of students in slot number 2 were able to solve 2 sets only. So that is where the challenge lies in. Okay, so but then, as I said, 2 sets was definitely doable. So even if you do 2 sets, okay, you see that I have shown you here, okay, a score of 30. Okay, with two sets, if you have done completely, okay, let's say 8 questions overall, okay, that you must have done, okay, that would definitely bring you to close to a 97 percentile, okay, with two sets, and with the third set coming in, okay, and with that third set, even if you have done 1 or 2 questions, that would have increase your score, okay, and increase your percentile and bring it to 99. Okay, that's about the LRDI part, okay, which is the 24 questions part, okay, for slot number 2. That because of LRDI, you will see the score coming down for slot number 2. Okay, that's what about slot number 2. Verbal ability was pretty decent, okay, cons was also doable there. Okay, and then we have the slot number 3 coming in. Okay, and I'm not going to take much of time with regards to this, because I've just taken a session on slot number 3 where I have shown you all of this in detail. Okay, cons and all that, okay, pretty much okay. LRDI, no, you had Venn diagram sets, okay, there were some tree production sets, medical testing. These 2 sets, okay, that we see were more of doable. Okay, as I said, okay, 2 sets were definitely doable here, and here also in slot number 3 also LRDI was on a difficult side compared to the other two sections over here, and it was also difficult as compared to slot number 1. So understand, people who were there in slot number 1, okay, people who were there in slot number 1, they had because the paper was a little easy for them in terms of LRDI, that is where they kind of would have scored better. Okay, so for people in slot number 1, they need a higher percentile there, okay, a higher score there, okay, to get the same kind of percentile. Okay, for slot number 2, slot number 3, with a little less, okay, let's say a 3-4 marks less, they would get still the same percentile. Okay, this is something that I wanted to share here with regards to the comparison and the difference between the 3 sets overall 3 slots. Okay, the difference is going to be like this. Okay, the difference is going to be like this. Now if I talk about the percentile part, okay, if I talk about the percentile across the 3 sections, guys, okay, this is what I need to be very specific, okay, very specific about the 3 slots. And now I'm talking about the normalization, that how would normalization impact here. Okay, in fact I will make a detailed video also on that, okay, that would talk about the normalization part, okay, the effect of normalization on CAT 2020. Now slot number 1, okay, understand, slot number 1 was on a easy side compared to LRDI. Okay, slot number 2 and 3 was on a difficult side part with regards to the LRDI part. So definitely, it's students who are there in slot number 2 and 3 who would have got that. Okay, I was able to do only 2 sets and all that. You don't have to be disheartened. Okay, you really don't have to be disheartened. Why? Because this was difficult for across the people of that slot. Okay, we have not found any much of students saying that slot number 2 was LRDI. Also, someone able to do 3 sets or 4 sets. Very few people were able to do 3 sets over there. So understand, normalization is going to bring everything at one level. Okay, and when I say normalization is going to bring everything at one level, is where I'm seeing at around close to 105 overall. Okay, and on an average across the 3 slots putting together, a 105 is going to be that final score. Okay, that we're looking at. Okay, plus minus 5-10% you can do here and there. Okay, but that score that we're talking about is looking for the 99 percentile thing. Now, getting into the baby IIMs and new IIMs is going to be easier this time. Okay, in fact, I'm because if you see, that's my personal observation, that the number of students who turned out, okay, in the in today's exam basically, okay, were very less compared to every year. Okay, because this year people were, they were in many places, people had to travel and go outside their town, okay, to attend the exam, and because of the pandemic, not many people were willing to do that. So definitely the number of people are going, the number of CAT takers would have come down drastically. Okay, would have come down drastically. And having said that, okay, having said that, if the number of people are going to be less, what happens with the cutoffs of the top IIMs, okay, the top IIMs and the lower IIMs, okay, and the baby IIMs and all that. So definitely over there you have an advantage. Scoring a 90 percentile is going to be easier. Okay, it's going to be easier here this time than any of the years before. 99, 98 percentile, that is going to be unaffected. That is something that will have no impact of the previous slots. Okay, previous years. Okay, that is going to be pretty much the same. But yes, the as I said, the lower part, which is going to be 90 percentile or 85 percentile, those kind of things is definitely going to be affected. Okay, you will have that kind of percentile even at a lower score. Okay, even at lower score, you can still have that kind of a percentile. So that is the advantage, okay, that we can kind of see based on the less number of test takers. Okay, that is what we're going to have. Okay. Sir, Cons was difficult in LR in slot number 1, right, when compared to slot number 2, 3. No, Sai, okay, over based on our analysis, we don't see that Cons of slot number 1 was that difficult compared to this. People who are able to do good with regards to Cons of slot number 1, where people, I mean, attempt of close to 17, 18 questions was something that was doable. People were able to do that much in slot number 1. Okay, and that was also the scenario for slot number 2 and 3. So Cons, I would say pretty much the same. Okay, like people who are aiming at 99, they must have attempted around 70 to 18 questions. With around 15 questions attempts, you would have a 95 to 96 percentile, those kind of things. So that would have been pretty much the same. Okay. All right. So guys, that's overall, okay, the analysis that we bring in. Now, further, there's a lot of things in mind that if your CAT exam has not gone well, okay, what are you guys supposed to do? Now, how do we take this part? So we're going to discuss that also. Okay, I've got that particular. In fact, I have a video that I'm going to post on that. Okay, that how you should deal with things if at all your CAT has not gone well. Okay, what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to come up with that. Okay, slot number 3, 10 questions with 100% accuracy. How would you rate it? In Cons, okay. So if that is the case, Chaitanya, okay, you see here, okay, that I have shown that there is around 40 to 42 marks. Okay, that would fetch a 99 percentile. So Chaitanya, in that case, what you're talking about is where you would have a 30 marks. Okay, but for 30 marks, okay, your percentile in Cons would drop down to somewhere around between 90 to 95. Okay, I would say like 94, 93, 94, 95 would be the percentile there that I'm expecting from Cons. Okay, here. So that's about Chaitanya. How would we see that if you have got total of 30 marks over there? Okay. All right. So that is one more thing. Okay, that I have. And okay, and as I said, okay, we need to bring in those points. Okay, we need to bring in those points wherein we are talking about that if my CAT exam has not gone well, okay, what is that we are supposed to do? Okay, how are we going to deal with it? Okay, how are we going to deal with it? So understand, guys, if your cat has not gone well, okay, how do we take that point ahead? Okay, and let me just share certain points. Okay, let me just give you that for just a minute. In fact, okay, I'm just sharing that point as well. How you came to know that less people turned up today? Chaitanya, that is just my observation. As I said, okay, we'll definitely get the final figures tomorrow. Okay, in the newspapers, we would get to know that how many people actually attempted. But last year, okay, last year, if you see, there were total of what? Like, let me just bring it here and just tell you. So last year overall there were like this is I'm talking about the CAT 19, where 2.4 lakh people actually registered and 1.98 people actually gave the exam. Okay, so this was the figure last year. So when you know, when there was nothing of COVID and those kind of things were not there. CAT 20 we had the 2.3 lakh people who have registered, and out of those 2.3 lakh people who have registered, with the COVID situation and all that, we are expecting this number of 1.98, or roughly this is 2 lakhs. Okay, so we expect this number to go down. Okay, we expect that number to go down. So if at all this number comes down to, let's say, a 1.6 or a 1.7, okay, we'll get to know that tomorrow, by the way. Okay, so definitely if this is the number, okay, then the percentile will have a further effect. Okay, so those effect, as I said, okay, we will bring that and discuss with you guys tomorrow only, once we have the clarity on the number of people who give. But if that is 1.8, okay, that's so I don't think that is going to be more than 1.8. Okay, I don't think it should be 1.9. Okay, but that is the case, definitely that is going to have some significant impact on the overall percentile calculation. All right, so that's about the overall analysis. Okay, the overall percentile predictor. Okay, close to 100, and okay, this is the final verdict. Okay, close to 105. Okay, that we're looking at. 105 would somewhere be close to 99 percentile. Okay, and people with close to 100 marks, okay, would be somewhere around 98. Okay, people at 90 score, okay, would drop down to a 93 or something like that. Okay, or a 90 also. Okay, this can be the range here. Okay, this is what we're looking at. Overall expectation from today's all the three slots together. Okay, all right, so that's all, okay, that I had in this overall analysis, okay, of CAT 2020 that I have. And if you guys have any questions, okay, I'll keep it open for a few minutes, okay, to take the questions, okay, things. And further, do watch the video that I'm going to post in some time about what are you supposed to do if at all your CAT didn't go well. All right, any questions, guys? Okay, do let me know. All right. Okay, all the best. Okay, and let's connect tomorrow when we're going to talk about the what after cat. Okay, session. Okay, we're going to also connect. Okay, we're also going to connect about things. Okay, as I said. Okay, tonight I'm going to post a video that if at all your cat didn't go well. Okay, what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to take things further. So that's all from our side. Okay, all the best. Okay, and we will have the cat response sheet coming up in a few days. Once we have the cat response sheet, the percentile calculation will further make more sense, okay, to what we have given to you guys today. All right, thanks everyone. Thanks at all for